Welcome back. I made her back from Texas. Been back a couple days now. It was pretty fun down there. It's actually really fun down there. Got some friends that have a ranch. Hang out with those guys and got to shoot a couple of hogs one evening. Morning, girls. I'll put a little 1-minute clip right now of how it kind of went, give you a little quick summary. All right, had a pretty good night tonight. This guy came in first, made a good shot him in the head there, in the neck, and then this one came in maybe a half hour, 45 minutes later, missed, made a kind of a bad shot, but ended up getting him back here. We did the track in there, you know. So pretty good night, awesome night. Cross Creek Ranch, Bluffdale, Texas. Thanks. So it's been pretty warm, and then it's been getting kind of muddy. As you can see, the tracks here, it's froze right now, so we're gonna go out and do some chores kind of quickly while it's still halfway frozen. I moved the cows to another chunk of corn and a bunch of bales yesterday, so they're settled in for a while. The calves have all been doing good. We lost the last one when I left. We treated it and then it died a couple days later, but since then everybody is on the up and up. This weather's super nice, too nice. Dane's been kind of going crazy. He's been getting like his third trailer load of tires, been cutting rings and building these cobet mats. So this is what one of those cobets are going to look like. So that's what one looks like. See, they're 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot with a hole in the center. So these things will plop down right over top of a cobet water. I actually delivered one on our way to the airport. I'd sold a loader and I took my trailer, so then I took a mat with me, one of these cobets, and took it down to by Fedora, South Dakota. Corey Lewis down there, he was our first one to buy one. These are all gonna go out to Camac Ranch Supply. Dane's going in a couple days out there to deliver these to Camac. And then him and Sierra are gonna take a short vacation during that time. So I'll be in charge of my own place for once. The temperature is so nice out, I didn't put my pickup in the garage, which is fine except for all that. So I got her facing the sun. Give it a minute or two. These are the small ones, or the dinks as we call them, but they're not so dinky anymore. You know, a lot of times these smaller ones are just either timid or, well, basically they're just timid or not confident, and then they get pushed away from the feed some, and then they create a habit of not eating as much. So when you can put them all together, they're eating pretty good because they filled the feeder last Thursday. It's coming today. Well, they ate 3 tons of feed in 1 week. Still giving them CRP bale every morning. Come out here. We've been taking them now way to the west end. So almost a half a mile from their water. And it's a lot drier and nicer up on that hill. So that's what we've been doing. Trying to get them to go out there and hang out most of the day, instead of up towards the front where it's a little bit muddier. They're enjoying the nice weather too. So we'll go up on that hill up there and roll out that hay. We went back to every other day when it got nice with the wagon. So just do the 6,000 pounds every other day. Plus they got their bale feeders, so they always got some hay in front of them. They got a lot of stuff to eat and a lot of options and a lot of space. And now we got the weather on our side too, so that's good. It's just hard to beat when you got this nice of weather and that much space that these guys can be on sod and get everything they want, basically. They're just doing super good out here. Yeah, it's fun to watch them when they're enjoying themselves. Net wrap is so dumb. Well, as you can see, they didn't even really eat half of what I gave them yesterday right next to that. But it's CRP, it's pretty rough hay, so it's not really for them to eat necessarily. They're gonna pick through it some, and then they're gonna lay on it, and it's also just partially to keep them out here. Now that we're getting some water, you know, some runoff from melting, they don't even go up and drink out of the water tank up there. Go over to the cows next. I'll show you what they look like. Like I say, I just moved them over on a new chunk of corn and about 100 bales of hay. There's the water up there, and then they come down and they were on that other piece right over yonder. And then I just let them into this one last night. Yesterday I gave them 2 loads of silage with Remensin and about 4 bales of hay. Got them good and full. And then I went ahead and put this fence up here, another divide fence. and then we let them into here. As you can see, I mean, there's corn all over out there. They haven't ate. And then there's bales over there. There's about 100 bales of hay. We'll drive over there next. So they got their bales over here. There's like 100 bales in this move. And then I got a fence set up so they can't get over to those bales yet. That'll be the last move of bales, and there'll be 2 more moves of corn. We did lose a cow that last move. On the last pod of bales, I had some alfalfa that was left out here, alfalfa bales from this field, and it was first cutting, and there was grass and alfalfa, and I thought, well, that'll be okay, and I left like 15 alfalfa bales out here. There must have been one good alfalfa bale. Well, I cut her open, and she wasn't full of corn. She was full of hay, and alfalfa is what did it, I think. So the combination of being corn and then that alfalfa makes kind of froth in their stomachs, and they can't get rid of all of it. I think that's what we lost her from, is alfalfa. So then I got a little panicked, and I took all I had just maybe 10 alfalfa bales here and only left 2 mixed ones, and I got the rest out of here. So I don't think corn grazing with alfalfa bales for your bale grazing is a good idea. It's just two things that can cause bloat, and I think you're better off to just focus on one. Those 2 cows there, shout out Ryan, you know who you are. They're still in the herd. It was only like 30 degrees last night was the low, so I didn't even put them in the shed or plug them in. So we'll get a real cold start on the Merlot. Let's go try the 4440. Changed the oil on that John Deere 2 days ago, and I was going to change it on the Merlot since it's so nice out, but then I got tied up doing that fence. I didn't get back to it. We're going to sell these open cows on Monday, which today's Thursday, so that'll probably be the next video of us working, getting those loaded up and selling those. We'll probably go to the sale barn and watch them. I think that's the angle that all the cool guys on TikTok do. She definitely would have liked to have been plugged in. Poor thing. Well, let's go grab a bale and we'll give them a small bale of these full cows. So when we park our tractor to fill it, you always want to try to figure out which way the wind's coming from and face your tractor into the wind. You don't have, it's not super windy today. It's a little breezy. Just take a little bit of something, throw it up in the air, and you can see the wind's gonna blow this way. So I'm gonna turn this tractor around and face it that way. Pretty simple ration. It's just going to them calves. So there's a couple thousand pounds of hay and 4,000 pounds of silage. You just let her mix up for a little bit, and then we'll buzz over there and dump it out. Take this pin out, and then I can lower my chute all the way down. Well, Dane's cutting some tires. Show you how we drop them off there.
Get a little extra manure on every tire for you guys, kind of christen them before we get them to the farms. You know, kind of break them tires and get them used to the manure. Get a little scent on them. Cows won't be as spooky around the new mat. But here's a little trick we learned on Facebook. You drop your tire on here like this. It'll roll right down the track and out the trailer. It's a lot better than grabbing a big tire and trying to get the old heave. That don't usually work. Coming soon, mats are going to be out at Union Center, Camac Ranch Supply. If you got a Cobet water, want to try these out, now's your chance. They're going to be there. He's already sold some, so I'm not sure how fast they're going to sell. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we kind of looked at them earlier. Slice this one.
All right.
Here's where it starts.
Straight from China.
She's a nice one today, boys and girls. It's like spring, February 1. Creeks are running, mud's a-flowing. Kind of want to do some stuff, but you make such a darn mess everywhere you go. I'm going to move some wire, move those cows at gyms, give them a little more, and then we'll see how it goes. I'm going to move those crate feeders, take the skid steer out there and do that. What are the chances this puppy's going to start? Oh, yeah. Nice. All right, so we're going to run this wire through there for those cows. Get in. There we go. Well, we got the stretch out of her. Holy crap, holy. Something's going on here. There we go. Now that I got a camera person, I'll show you what I do. This is just an insulator with a short piece of wire on it. This is the poly wire, or the poly rope. So you find where it's pretty tight, and I make just a loop like this, where you can easily take it out like that. So I never have to cut this stuff. This. And then I can give her just a one bend. And this also holds up my spool. Out of the ground. So I do like every other one now. That just gets the wire up, and then I tear that fence down. That'll give me some more posts, and then I'll come back and put one in every. You hit them square, and there isn't hardly any frost, but if there is a little bit of frost, you can pound them right in the frost if you go straight. This is a spool that the Gallagher, which is a brand named high tensile wire, came on. And it was designed to just be used once and then it's done. I made this tool. It fits in here and goes in that hole and becomes a spinner for a drill. Because I can carry it like a reel. And then also, once we're done letting these cows through, we'll take all the posts out. And then I'll just pull all this wire to one spot. So I don't have to walk the whole way, but I could walk the whole way. There they go. Get them all to come around me, and I'll just leave this taut, and we'll go back and unhook it and pull all the posts out. The cows won't bother it. Then we can roll up the power wire. Got the posts all pulled out and it's unhooked on that end, so now I came back to where we let the cows in, and I can just roll up the rest. That had a spool with, you know, maybe 1/8 of a mile on there, so I just kind of threw it on the ground, supposedly unspooling, hopefully not tangling up. mile. Yeah, that's a quarter mile of wire. Well, we just got done driving through the cows. Checked those guys in the corn. They're over there. Everything looks good. It's too muddy to kind of do any projects. It's just you kind of make a mess of everything. But I was going to show you. I had one comment wanted to see the bubbler stuff a little bit closer. So I'll show you that. So obviously it's really warm out, but there's the bubbles coming up. This tank has got a lid made of bridge planks. So it's 3 inches thick or 2.5 inch thick bridge plank. There's no insulation. And here's the hose. And the bubbler is in here. 12-volt power bubbler. Amazon. Juice box is sitting over there. That's where it's getting its power. And then it comes overhead through that water line down here. That's where we're getting our 12-volt power. The few hundred cows on here, if it's down to 20 below, there'll be a tiny little circle right here that's still open. And then of course, once the first cow starts drinking, then the water goes down and warm water comes in, and then it all opens up again. But it's muddy. It's quitting time. I'm going home. I'm cold, not really cold. It's kind of like a wet cold. She's making fun of me. I'm kind of a wimp. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment if you got any questions. Love to hear from you. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.